I want to thank you, Valma, because I'm also going to talk about some not classic self-help population. And I want to thank Ed because in this conference I realized that I enjoy very much or relate very much to the not classic self-help, not the people that will come and ask for training and advice, counseling, how to make a group about a chronic situation, and we give them some, I don't know, course or something, and they'll do it by themselves. I really relate more to those people that it's the self-help as we defined it is not natural to them. And when we were dealing in the welfare department, they told us that people that cannot manage their own life, they cannot manage their own life, their own illness, their own children, how they will manage a group of self-help that finding solution and maybe even lobbying? It's not for them. And I say it depends how we are mediated. What we are as professionals can do to do the mediating, that to do the process, to lead them through the process of understanding and realizing. And if we can make it, it's hard. It's not. I found it very hard. I find it's not natural. But if you can do it, I feel that we have more benefit than regular self-help, because, as you said, we introduce them to the values of the society that we want, that we live in. This is some kind of thing that can help them integrate into the general society by democratic, because most of this community don't live by the standards of our society, they live by other standards. So this conference made me think that this is actually what I really like to do in self-help. Okay. So I will introduce, This I already told you, Israel is in a mess situation in self-help, and now we are in some regional municipality workers. What I usually do as a freelancer, I train a community social worker in the municipality to do self-help, that they in the end will be a mini clearinghouse in their city. This is what we are actually doing. And now we are trying to, because of the welfare, we are trying to collaborate, cooperate with other programs into welfare, not only municipality, and we take national programs, and we try to combine self-help, I'm shouting self-help, into those programs, and try to suggest self-help as continuation to those programs that come for 1-2 years, and then they leave the people. And I said, if we are through the process of the program, teach them the principle of self-help, maybe they can maintain the successes in the program, never mind what the program was, but they can maintain the success and continue. So the program that I'm combining now is the employment or unemployment program. It's a project that are for what we call disadvantage. I know I'm afraid of terms now. Disadvantage, is it okay? I'm not afraid of you. I'm really not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of anyone. But disadvantaged population, it's mostly people with special needs and minorities, which Arabs and Druze Druze is some kind of secret religious that born in the Caucasus, and they have some villages in Israel, and they are not nationalities. They are living in the country that they live in according to their own religions. They are usually very cooperative, and you won't tell an Arab from them, but they have their own religions. And Orthodox Jews. We have almost 20% very ultra-Orthodox Jews in Israel, which has a lot of employment program and because it's even ideologically a problem. In this program, the people get group training support for 1 year. Personal training, if they want to learn some kind of occupation or something, trade, if it's going to be academic, so they'll get the training for long term, but most of them short courses, and individual consultation. So for a year and a half, they are in the employment program, and they are doing 60 or 70% of them do find jobs. And I said find jobs because it's not a profession, it's not an occupation even, it's a job. They are going, and this is a success because a lot of people, but no one checks what's happened afterwards, because some of the jobs are very simple jobs, they're very temporary jobs, they will not maintain this success, and they will stay. And here is where we got in. Oh, what? This is where we got in. We thought that if we are in this stage, where the group is made for learning all kind of abilities, how to find a job and how to be a group, if we come in this stage, when they are finishing this, and give them the tools to continue to be some kind of network, some kind of a support group, some kind of self-help group that maintain the success in the field, they will be more likely to keep this success for long term. And we offer this to them because employment have a lot of money and they don't know what to do with the money, because they don't really. So they agree, and they gave us some kind of opportunity to do a pilot project of 5 groups like that. And I will now, So the purpose was maintain success in employment program, and during that we would build a professional that will go with continuation, and we give some skills to the group itself, into the group itself. I go into the group, how to manage herself as a self-help group. And what we are said that if it will be a success, what we said it will be the parameters, if they will continue to meet 6 or 10 times minimum after when they end the program, for a year, let's say, because it's once a month or something like this, that they have a social network, that they have connection between themselves, because sometimes people will finish this program and do not talk to the other person that was in the program, that they have a mutual and self-help within themselves, that they have a common target. For example, in one city they told us they want to go to work, but there is not a good arrangement to children, so they have to work half day. So together they went to the municipality and asked for a longer day in the kindergarten, something like this. They were the one that bring the issue up. I don't know if they will succeed, but this is some kind of target. So in the summer, when they have to work and the children have nowhere to go, they were babysitting one for another. They had a really mutual help helping them operate it. And one of the most important targets success would be if they can be the ambassador of the employment program to other people, to new women that go into the program, new people that go into the program. I will describe one group, ultra-Orthodox women from Netivot. Netivot is a city in the south of Israel, in the desert, look like the desert, 50,000 inhabitants, more or less. More than 50% are ultra-Orthodox Jews, which means very big family. They cannot use protection, so they have 5 to 12 children every family. 50% of the city have very big families. Men usually not working because they are yeshiva students, Talmudic students. What you mean? They have to sit and for a woman to marry a Talmudic student, it's the highest ambition. So you as a woman, 18 years old, trained to think that your higher ambition in life is to marry someone that sits and study Torah all day, study the Bible all day, and you will get some social security, very little amount, and in the right it's go little, less and less every year, and you will be giving birth for 5 to 12 children, and this is your higher aspiration, and now the government tell you that you have to go to work because you are so poor, so accept all this, you have to go to work. So this group is that kind of women that are sitting in that went through the process of a 1-year training to try to find employment. Only half of them is working, and they are and let's of course add that it says there, it's the end of Israel, there is no jobs almost, there is unemployment, never mind who you are, even not to consider that you have children to take care of, and it's in the Gaza Strip, so every year you have 2 or 3 months when you are bombed, and everything is closing down because this is the situation, and you are wanting this kind of women that really, they live without television, without internet. It's prohibited because it's outside influence that the children cannot see. You want her to go to work. Where could she work? There she could be cleaning she cannot do almost anything. Of course, she is not educated because she went as a child to a very religious school where she is herself learned mostly the Bible. We're doing this. Yeah. We got into the group, 15 graduated of the program from 5 different groups that graduated. It wasn't a holistic group. And first of all, we built a group from them. We took them and built a group from them, doing all. I was there once every 2 weeks. I was coming 1 week, and then 1 week they were meeting by themselves. In this meeting by themselves, they should have find someone to lead the group. And they did. And they used this as an opportunity to, some was a cosmetician, so she trained on the group. Some learned something as like delivery guidance. So she did her profession on the group. So they trained their professional skills in the group, and they built themselves a structure of a group setting when they can do it themselves, with someone that opened, someone that closed, and we did it. And then every other week, I were coming, we were analyzing it, solving problems, and there were a lot of conflict, and a lot of ups and downs, and a lot of points when they wanted to quit. No, we cannot without a leader. No, you have to be here. And but in the end, we are finishing this 10 session, and they are now maintaining, and they are continue to work as an independent group. With this process, work with me, the social community worker of the program of employment in Netivot, and I gave her, on the way, I gave her the skills to do it with other groups also. So I hope that we here found some key to maintain. Now the group is, 2 or 3 months afterwards, they meet every week. I know that they meet every week, a lot of crises, sometimes I get pictures, sometimes I get telephones, but they are meeting without anyone. So it's a self-help group, and they are, this is how the family will look, the small one, not the big one. Yeah, and it's not her, but there are a few women that went to academia, and one of them is learning social work, and they have, of course, a lot of problem with the husband that doesn't want them to be. So she said that the group really helped her to combine and deal with her husband. And there are, to be a single parent in this community is really worst of the worst of the worst. You never get divorced unless you are, she really opened a business of catering, and she really, the group found her customers, helped her marketing herself. Even one of the girls helps her in big occasion, helps her to work and gets money for it. So it's really a network. We are in 5 more cities. We are coming with self-help for another sphere where we've never been before, as in Israel. Also, we managed to build communication and cooperation between different part of the welfare ministry, which is also not easy, and which is giving us an advantage because we want it further on when we want to set the self-help. So it's for us, it's training how to do this cooperation into the ministry, to set ourselves in the front there. And of course, the most important thing that we have security net for the women themselves, and they are still supporting each other through this hard process. Thank you.
So, do you have any questions or remarks for Helena?
Helena, yes.
It was very interesting to hear, and really the group.
Exotic.
Yes, the group you are targeting, but these women has started the unemployment courses, or had they? How did you find them?
No, not me find them. Who found them is the project. I came into the project after 5 courses of I don't know, every group were 15, 20 people. From them, we were picking women that has opportunity to manage themselves, and they were in the project not connected to me. I got in only when the project is finished, and we are gathering the group to do the continuation. I'm not responsible for the project. I don't even to the end know what's going on in the project. I just cut in the middle and took it forward. And it's, yeah.
So it's great that they're still meeting. That's really good. So they're now a network. That's the point. So it's not about us as self-help. It's about them continuing long after we've gone and forgotten. But do they have access to funding and support still? Can they?
Darling, unlike in the rich countries, we are the poor countries who have to do self-help without funding. There is no funding at all. I mean, they get from the municipality the place to meet. They get a connection with the social worker, social community worker, which can give them some information, some access to other services. Sometimes, I have to say, you see, they are so poor, they cannot live on the social security. So they are in the religion world a lot of charity organizations, a lot of rich Jews from America that support those kind of families. So the husbands will learn Torah. Yeah, this is in the Jewish world a terrible thing that happens, and a lot of philanthropic, very, very low philanthropic, so those women have a lot of access to this kind of help, but it's material, you know. It's a little bit food, it's things, basic things. It's not funding for doing things, you know.
Yeah. It's good they've got a venue, though. Mm-hmm. They're giving them the venue to meet. That's good.
The place. Yeah. They're giving the place and a contact man in the municipality. And if they will be strong enough to maybe, because I have another group like this in other city last week, and they are a group of 8 women that do events for other groups in the program. So they got funding to do, they are 8 women that plan other events for other women, and they got funding to do the events. So if they do for others, maybe they'll find some funding from the welfare system. But for themselves, they have to operate themselves.
Anat, I must say, I did know it all the time, but now it's proven you're a real hero. Or is it heroin?
No, don't feel...
Okay, anyway, I mean, to go into that milieu, which you just briefly described, And I think for most of us, it's really weird, you know.
You don't understand how weird it is. You don't understand the things I'm hearing there, the values. And you know, this is the people that vote for the right government that I hate, you know, and I have to help them. Yeah, it's terrible.
That's why I call it that way.
Yeah.
Now, having been to Israel a couple of times, as you know, I have a vague idea of this milieu. Now my question is, how did this milieu react? For example, what do the husbands say about this development? What does this ultra-Orthodox community? I mean, I was surprised that they let you in.
Well, this is not the most extreme one. There are one that would not let me in. And this one, I don't even have to put a costume on. I can come as I am. There are other groups that I work in that I have to go with long skirts, with long sleeves, and otherwise I won't pass. And they will check every word I say, and I cannot take out my cell phone in front of them. This is not the case, but there are groups like this. Although they won't look at my phone, they know I have it. But I want to say two things. First of all, you understand for their condition of life, this is a very, very strong woman. Life made them so strong and very smart, because we can laugh about Talmudic way of living, but what it does, it's really make you, think very deep and very wide and very. It's not imperative to the modern world, but it's very high philosophy. And the woman can quote from the Bible, and they can relate to everyday life, a biblical situation. So it's not a women that will go like this, because those wouldn't come with their husband. But there was a lot of problems. And one of the benefits of the group, that they were talking about what to say to their husband and how to support him in the process that she's changing. They had a lot of ideas, and it's interesting because a lot of things that they said was tell him this things from the Bible, or tell him that things from the Bible, bring him that example from the Bible, and I didn't know what they're talking about, yeah? But and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She gave her what to give him. I don't need it. I won't give it to anyone. But so it was really, really helping. And every session starts with a story. If someone is bringing a story, which you read in the Blitzkrieg, and it's a story that you cry and they got so strong from this, and it gives them the strength to go to the family and make changes. So this is how they found some. There are codes that I don't understand, but they found it. So it's okay. Yeah.
I wanted to ask, in terms of that year of training that they go through, I'm just thinking, so many jobs these days depend on computers, and you say that the services like that are prohibited. Is there any particular problems like that you address, or are they avoided?
I don't remember the term in English, but my expertise is I learn immigration. This is what I learn. And those people, those women will work in an ethnic kind of work. They will work only inside their community. They will not go out. Most of them will never go out to work in the external world. She will be a mediator for birth in her community, a lot of work there. She will be a social worker here. She will be a teacher there. She will be a cosmetician there. And for example, one of the questions of a woman that went into the beauty salon, they cover their head. So is it allowed or not allowed to give a haircut for a woman that is married and not covering her hair? And the rabbi says they can, they cannot. So they won't work in the free market.